Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Shakedown. I am your host, The Bake Show, Shake and Bake, and with me today is a former NEPW champion, a PPW champion, the current and one and only two-time Battle Club Pro Tag Team Champions, one half of Federated, the artist, Rembrandt. Welcome to the show, buddy. How you doing?
My God, bro, you do your job. What an
Mm,
intro. Let me ask you a question though. I'm,
yeah.
I'm gonna flip it on you. What's your favorite part? The shake or the bake?
I like to say I bake and then I get a little shake going. When I was casting Call of Duty, whenever they'd say shake and bake, I hit the little Eddie Guerrero shimmy. So
Love it.
it depends on the moment, but my last name is Baker, so take do
There
with
you
that
go.
information what you will. But Rembrandt, who are you? Where are you from? Why are you here? Well, you're here because I want to talk to you, but give us the lowdown. Who are you?
Ooh, who am I would be way too long for what we got. So I'm gonna give you a summarized version. I am your, like you said, two-time, one and only two-time Battle Club Pro Tag Team Champion, the Rembrandt. Born and raised in Brooklyn, trained by the amazing Red, a product right now of the Fallout Shelter and Battle Club Pro, taking over the Northeast, soon to be expanding south, hopefully. And
Ooh.
I'm just a young Afro Latino boy who chased a dream and realized it could work out.
Well, this dream you're talking about, where did it start? How'd you first fall in love with wrestling? Because it's not always the easiest thing to come around, especially if someone, directly close in your life isn't really into it. How'd you come into it?
Well, my first memory of wrestling is like I was really young. I can't tell you how young I was, but like
Hmm.
think like toddler.
Okay.
And my mom was flicking through the channel and I saw Undertaker's entrance. Just for like 1 minute, I just saw his
Oh,
entrance, the blue lights, all of that.
yeah.
And I know I didn't say this at the time, but I was like, what the hell is this?
Right?
And I was hooked. But then she changed the channel and I never saw it again until
Wow.
maybe like 5 or so years later. My uncle was really big into Stone Cold,
Yes.
Attitude Era at the time. So like he would just come down and watch it in my living room, and we'd end up like play fighting and shit like that. And then next thing you know, I was hooked.
That's great. And my dad was a big Stone Cold fan too. That's kind of how I got introduced to it. He would always hit me with whenever I asked for something and he said no, and I kept asking. He said, "That's the bottom line. 'Cause Stone Cold said so." Would like pout and whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's funny how it always seems like it's a family thing, right? It always comes up somebody close to you that you grew up with was like, "This is really cool. Check this out," and it just kind of it opened you up to a whole new world, and now you're chasing this dream. When did that really start for you? When did you decide to pursue it?
uh I don't think it became a real thing for me until like I hit my 20s. I started training at 20, I think. Uh I was like, I had just dropped out of college. I didn't know what to do with my life. I was just like, I don't know. My uncle loved it. He had passed away when I was younger,
Mm,
but he loved it. And I was like, you know what? I remember watching Amazing Red when they did a TNA live event in Coney Island. And I
okay.
remember like, I didn't know who he was at the time. But I remember seeing him and be like, oh, like, yo, that's dope. Da, da, da. And at the time, like, I was like, yo, he's like my size. Da, 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 da. Like, that's crazy. I ended up just going there by accident, and he was in a good mood one day, and he was like, "Yo, you want to try a crossbody? Because that's what the class was."
Mm.
And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So I did a crossbody. Thank God I didn't kill him. Uh, and ever since then, I was just hooked. Like even like on the good days, the bad days, I just couldn't not do it, if that makes sense.
No, no, it does make sense. It's like even on those worst days, there's nothing you'd rather be doing. I feel like there has to be some kind of clarity at some point in your life when you're in that ring. You just does everything stop? Do you feel like there is that clarity? Do you hit that flow state?
I think so. I think it's gotten to the point now where like I don't it's second nature. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think about the flow state anymore. But yeah, I would
Okay.
say that's probably in a weird way where I'm at my most peaceful.
That's cool. It's like the bell rings. It's like that's your like meditation signal. It's like okay, let's lock in. But no, along that journey, I mean, I kind of guess you have talked about the championships. I mean, is there one that kind of sticks out above the rest, or a moment that kind of really hits you harder for any reason?
Uh Going based off the words you used, one that's special to me is my first No Limits title because it was my first. You kind of just never forget your first. And it was a special time. Like I was on the verge of like retiring after COVID and stuff like that. Like I didn't know if if this just because I loved it, I didn't know if wrestling loved me back.
Mm.
And so it was at a time where like I wasn't sure of myself if I should continue or not. And Isaac Rule was the current No Limits champion at the time, and he and I told an amazing story that ended with the first singles defense of a No Limits championship. Uh, so yeah,
Wow.
is that one was special. Uh, a moment though, I cashed in last year. I won a golden ticket in PPW. I won the
Okay.
heavyweight title. I just, even though like I think highly of myself, the humble part of me is like, I never would have thought I would be heavyweight champion. So I would say that one, dressing up as Santa, beating up Facade, and taking the heavyweight title, that was cool. And then obviously this one, I would say too, just because, just to be fully honest, like I was having the worst week of my life when I won this title. Like car accident, breakup, you name it, everything was happening. And I won this, and I would just to hear the crowd who normally doesn't embrace us here, embrace us and all of that good stuff. Like, yeah, that one was also very, very emotional.
Wow. Eh, that kind of gives me mixed feelings because the Golden Glovers are my boys, and you just recently defended against them, and to hear how much that belt means to you at this point, and you're not obviously not taking it for granted. You guys have been absolutely balling. I mean, tell me about your tag team partner. How is it like working with him and everything like that? I've talked about chemistry stuff with the Golden Glovers before. What's it like between you guys?
Seamless. Seamless is definitely the word to use. I love Cuzzo. Like what you see is what you get with Cuzzo. He's a beast in the ring, and he's just the most lovable person outside of it. Uh, in the ring, like we just maybe it's because we wrestled each other before, but like
Hmm.
we just click. I get him, and he gets me. Uh, we don't argue. We don't fight. None of that. Like we're just always on the same page, and it shows in the ring.
Hmm.
Why we've been the most dominant champions in Battle Club's recent history. Uh, no disrespect to the other teams, but we show up every month. We defend our championships every month, and we win every month. Shout out to the Golden Glovers. They gave us a hell of a fight. But, I heard the crowd chanting new champs, but, and still,
And still, two of the coldest words in all of wrestling, I think. And still, it's just there's something so finite about it. It's just like, damn, man, this just continues to go on. It's very powerful. How do you feel? Like, is there a different pressure when you're champion, or do you feel like it's harder trying to get up there and grab that brass ring?
They're both different pressures, but I like the pressure of being champion. I feel like most people they get relaxed and stuff like that, but I'm comfortable being the champion. I like people trying to take my spot and not being able to. Keeps me on top of my game, you know? Iron sharpens iron is what Red always taught me. And it shows with the Glovers. It's gonna show with whoever answers our open challenge. But you know, and still, like yeah, like like we said, when I won, it was the worst week of my life, and this was the only thing I had, and the heavyweight title at the time. But the only things I had to make me feel any kind of validation. I don't have the heavyweight title anymore, so you're gonna have to do a lot more than just be good to take this away from me.
A lot more than that. I mean, you're talking about the fans getting involved. Last week, they wanted new champs. So it's not just the people in the back that are aiming for those belts. The fans are starting to give you some heat. And as far as we're concerned, that's a blessing. And, you talked about not always being embraced down at Battle Club. Do you embrace that heat? Is that something you enjoy in your role? I mean, it's not always easy not being liked.
It don't really bother me none, honestly, because if you boo me, chances are somewhere in there you like me. It's just you're a little jealous right now. You don't get it. And if I see the people who do cheer me, and I'm not a bad guy, I acknowledge them. I dap up who I want to dap up. But as long as you making noise, that's all I need. I tune it out. I take what I need from you, and that's it.
Hey, that's a very, very strong statement there. I mean, when you build up this kind of profile and you walk into an open challenge and you've been around the game, you and Cuzzo are running the division at this point. Is there anybody that you think maybe is specifically aiming for you, or anybody you feel deserves this opportunity more than another team?
I don't get into the business of politics. So that part don't bother me none. I can't say which way or another. What I will say is Golden Glovers got their shot and they deserved it. We want to give this last show of the year, Battle Club Extravaganza. We want to give this shot to a young up and coming tag team. Now, can't be the Glovers because they lost, but you got FPS out there.
Mm.
You got Colossal Collective racking up wins. We can't ignore that. Maybe it's one of them. Maybe. Maybe it's a team y'all don't know yet. Maybe it's a team on the grind who feel like, yo, yeah, never know. And will respect it. We're going to beat your ass, but we respect it. So I just want whatever tag team that comes to answer this challenge to be ready to put in that work.
Mm.
Because after this, no more.
Hey, listen, get it while it's hot. And what's that phrase? If you come at the king, you best not miss. In an open challenge situation, whoever it is, you got to come correct, because we've seen teams come in prepared and not be able to take y'all down. So take that for what it's worth. And you talk about putting in work. Obviously, you're grinding in the gym, you're grinding in the ring, at training, everything like that. But there's another level to this whole thing now that has emerged in the past 10 years or so that really wasn't a thing in professional wrestling. That social media, that promoting your brand outside of just your showtime. And I see you putting in the work. What's that like? And I know the chemistry between you and Cuzzo is great. Does that feel like an extra challenge, or is that just something where you're like, oh, this is fun. This is something we just get to express ourselves here?
I think it's more the latter, especially with Cuzzo. We get to just express ourselves and be ourselves. Uh, Social media. can be tough for me personally because just I'm a more of a in the moment kind of person.
Sure.
So usually my phone's either in my pocket or to the side, which is not great. But when I'm with Cuzzo, when I'm with Gem, when I'm with Federated, they're just naturally better at that than I am. So it's easier for me to showcase sides of myself because usually whenever I look, there is a phone pointed somewhere at me.
Hey, that's not a bad thing. Eyes on you are a good thing, and it seems like the social media game has been going strong. And you brought up Gem, and I have to bring this up, and I'm not sorry about it. The video of you training her for her first ladder match, it almost had me in tears. I was sitting at work, I'm like, yo, this is so good. What's it like working with her and that like interpersonal dynamic, that relationship that has now gotten to a professional point as well?
Uh, I mean, it's really not work when you enjoy to do something, right? She's just, she's phenomenal. Like, sh- what you see is exactly what is advertised. She is a gem. And honestly, all you have to really do is just click the camera and let her go. I'm just an accessory to her.
That was awesome. I mean, real quick, you think she's ready for this ladder match? Is she going to catch a dub? How do you feel about her shot?
I feel good about her chances. She got over the whole being 2 feet thing. I think she's okay with the climbing part.
Good, good.
I just told her focus on beating people up. Focus on putting them through the ladders, and then you'll have all the time in the world to climb.
That's actually a great point. When you put it that way, if you just beat everybody up, you take your time. When you make it
Listen, I
simple.
grew up with video games, and what you had to do, you had to make sure they
Yeah.
wasn't following you.
Can I tell you how many times I've raged playing SmackDown versus Raw as a child in ladder matches when I thought I had someone down and I was playing the stupid mini game? Oh, dude. If I only had
Yeah.
you in my corner, I probably would have been a 19-time world champion. John Cena would look like a chump in the video game compared to me. Eh,
Listen, sometimes you gotta have that person on your shoulder to be like, you know what? Hit him with the ladder again. Just one more time won't hurt.
Make sure they're down. And you've been in the game a long time. Being that veteran in the battle club and everything like that, do you notice that you find yourself kind of naturally gravitating towards working with younger talent? Or do you just find yourself being more of like an open book? If someone comes up to you, it's absolutely whatever.
I consider myself more of an open book. Uh, I just feel like you're never too old to learn new stuff. So
Hmm.
I try
Hmm.
to remember where I was as a youth and remind myself of who I am now as main event Rembrandt and humbly put myself somewhere in the middle so I can keep learning while also passing it forward.
Hmm. I feel like that's a smart mentality to have, especially at this point in your career. Plenty of road left on those tires, as far as I'm concerned. But you mentioned the 23rd, uh, big show down in New York City. I believe it's at Alewife Brewing, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
sir.
Absolutely open challenge. Tell me about that. You don't know who your opponent is, obviously. I already asked you about that. But I mean, I guess this is your chance to kind of put the rest of the division on notice here.
I mean, like you said, putting them on notice because I meant what I said. This is the last time, and we're not lying. Fallout slash Battle Club tag teams that are homegrown. This is your last chance. This open challenge is for anyone. And after that, we want what's coming to us. So me and Cuzzo, we calling out other tag teams. We gonna call out Miracle Generations of the world. We gonna call out Private Parties of the world. We gonna call out other companies like I Say Wrestling. We gonna do what we need to do. But that's like for the new year. Right now, we giving out one last gift, one last federated present because we are for the youth, and that is going to be y'all last shot at this. And then after that, we whooped y'all asses for an entire year straight. So y'all gonna wait while we make ourselves look phenomenal like we know we are.
Goodness. If I'm a tag team in Battle Club right now, if I'm not sharpening my axes and diving into every single tool bag I have, I'm missing an opportunity. Listen, Rembrandt, I can't thank you enough for coming on here, man. It was an absolute pleasure getting to know you. We'll have to catch you up soon. Um, Good luck in the open challenge. I hope to see you guys come out on top. Look forward to the social media. Go ahead and plug your channels.
Yes, sir. So I will preface this by saying my first Instagram got hacked, so follow the second one. Uh Follow me on Instagram at the Rembrandt. Twitter is the same. Got like two underscores, I believe. And YouTube as well. You can also support me by buying the merch. Coming to the shows, come to Alewife on December 23rd. I'll be at PPW December 13th. NEPW this weekend. I think I got everything. Smash Faster December 28th. Couple more places that I'm sorry, I may not be remembering right now. And yeah,
Hey, listen, man, I appreciate your time. Anybody watching, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Join this crazy adventure I'm on. I'm talking to cool people like Rembrandt all the time. Next interview is going to be with his lovely lady, Jem. See what she's got going on. Get to learn her story as well. This is the Shakedown. And until next time, show somebody you love them. Take care.
this for you, babe.